So you're driving home from work and you see these sketchy ass storefronts with neon signs like cash now. You're thinking, damn, who the hell falls for this? Right before you hit a pole, and now you need 500 bucks by tomorrow or you can't get to work. But you already spent your whole paycheck and your credit score, yeah, let's not talk about that. But don't worry, because that sketchy storefront that you just clowned, that's about to be your best friend.
Right.
Payday.
Man, I already know 25% interest rate. Man, them gotta be higher than credit cards. 30%.
Loan stores used to be everywhere, 20,000 across America and more than McDonald's at one point. And they charge 400% annual interest and trap millions who couldn't.
400% annual interest? Oh my goodness.
McDonald's at one point, and they charge 400%.
Yo, I need that type of ROI.
And annual interest and trap millions who couldn't get traditional.
That's why I'm trying to get rich, because money make money. All you gotta do is lend people money at 400% interest rate, and you're set for life, assuming they can pay it back.
Traditional bank loans. But after regulations shut most of them down by 2020, you think the problem was solved. Instead, something worse happened.
What happened?
The industry didn't really die. It just innovated. Now it's apps like EarnIn, Klarna, and Dave offering early access to your paycheck or to buy now, pay later.
Yeah, I heard about that.
With the tap of a finger, you now have access to loan sharks that make money off of keeping you in a cycle of debt. And in this cat and mouse game, guess who keeps winning? So what I found after diving deeper is a business model that's rebranded debt as empowerment. And if regulation doesn't catch up soon, an entire generation will spend their entire lives renting their own money. And their whole bet depends on you staying broke and desperate.
Nah, that's wild. I think I did see a little app that was saying something about get your paycheck early. I already get mine early. I'm supposed to get paid on Friday. I get paid on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? That Discover become that early pay for real. You know what I'm saying? They try to let you get it on Monday. Soon as they send it through ADP, soon as he click, soon as the owner, whoever press click, it's going to your account. That's what they trying to do. And charge you 400% interest. Yo, that's wild.
Up soon, an entire generation will spend their entire lives renting their own money. And their whole bet
renting
depends
your own
on
money.
You staying broke and desperate.
It's your own money, just earlier.
The poor, bro. Tactics like this, bro, it's so easy for the rich to get richer and the poor to get poorer, bro. Like, literally, that's how capitalism works, bro. Like, banks, if you have thousands of dollars that you're able to just set an account, open up a new account, make multiple deposits, you make enough and you can set up deposits, and, you know, banks will give you money by opening up new accounts and depositing so much money over so much time. If you're able to do, the rich are able to do stuff like that, bro. The poor can't do stuff like that. They need that money now. That's why they're using this. Man, this game it's a cold game, bro. That's why you gotta live below your means and invest the difference, bro. Invest the difference into the stock market, you know.
Depends on you staying broke and desperate.
It's your own money, just earlier.
One of them has 400%, and the worst one has 690% APR. 40
690%?
of payday loans are used to pay off previous ones, a revolving door of debt.
God damn. A payday loan. See, I'm not too familiar with a payday loan myself. I don't too much understand
how we got from sketchy stores to sleek apps. You need to understand one thing. None of this is new. And the reason is simple. As long as people are desperate, someone will profit from it. Because as we're seeing today, 37% of Americans can't even afford to cover a $400 emergency without taking on debt. And it's getting worse. Wages haven't kept up with inflation.
$400, bro. So why does everybody act like they not broke? Because I'll tell you right now, I can cover that 400 times whatever the fuck by a decent number. Why everybody, if that's the case, why everybody act like they got money, bro?
Without taking on debt. And it's getting worse. Wages haven't kept up with inflation, housing, groceries.
See what it is when people look like they got money is because their money is being spent on the material things that make it kind of look like they got it. You know what I'm saying? But whole time they struggling like a bitch. They're just maintaining what they got. But see, a nigga like me, I'm wearing this dingy ass jacket from Ross that I bought for like $5. And I got the same money these niggas spending on bills, I got put up though. You know what I'm saying?
Debt. And it's getting worse. Wages haven't kept up with inflation, housing, groceries, everything has skyrocketed. But it's not like this trajectory has changed since the 90s, which is exactly why payday loan stores were booming until around the mid-2000s. And they knew where to set up. They set up in working class neighborhoods and low income communities, not because they were Robin Hood for—
Yeah, they always put the shit in the hood, bro. You only see them free phones, get a free phone, them little tents, you only see them bitches in the hood. You don't go to the good suburb side of town and see the same type of shit going on.
people
You
in
just
the hood,
don't.
but because
Right.
not because they were Robin Hood for people in the hood, but because desperate people make the best repeat customers. And here's how they made money. When you sign up
It's
for a
just
payday
statistics.
loan, you borrow against your next paycheck and you
Borrow
pay back
against
with a
it.
small fee on payday. Sounds
Wow. Pay back. Hold on. Let me hear it right.
the best repeat customers. And here's how they made money. When you sign up for a payday loan, you borrow against your next paycheck and you pay
You borrow against your next paycheck. So your entire next paycheck is the collateral. You're $1 short on that fee. They're garnishing your whole wage.
it back with
Yo.
they made money. When you sign up for a payday loan, you borrow
Hold on. What is
the
this
best
saying?
repeat customers. And here's how they made money. When you sign up for a
Transfer out $50, lightning speed, $3.99, $0, a tip. A tip? Transfer out plus tip? What, huh? What is this telling me here? Repayment to earn in from Capital One. Tuesday, February 11th. So transfer out. So you're transferring $50 out of earn in. And you're gonna pay them back on from your Capital One. So you borrowed $50. So because they gave you the lightning speed discount of $0, you gave them a $1 tip. Why? How? Who the fuck would just offer to give them a tip though? Like that's a tip, my nigga. Bro, what the a tip? Hey, yo, you cannot make this up, bro. A tip? This is a debt collector, bro. This is like this is a loan person, bro. And they're asking for a tip? You can't make this shit
people
up, bro.
make the best repeat
I don't understand.
customers. And here's how they made money. When you sign up for a payday loan, you
I
borrow against your
understand.
next
Borrow against your check. So this is total repayment of $51. So you borrow, so you're paying $1 for $50. What's the percentage on that though? Like, what's $1 of? It's probably low, huh? $1 of 50. It's gotta be like what, 0.5%?
paycheck and you
Or
pay
no? Let's do the math. Damn it! If I can get my calculator, if I can do the math right. Hold on. So let's say 50. What would it be? Times? Nah, 0.05. What does that give us? That's 2.5. So hold on. If I want, we take 1 divided by 50. That's 0.02%. Yeah. That was close. Just off the head. Off the easy. That's 0.02% interest. So I guess it's a good deal. Cause you do that $3.99. Let's do $3.99. $3.99. Divide that by 50. That's 0.7. That's basically 0.8%. If my math is right. Don't crucify me if I'm wrong, bruh. I'm from
in
Oklahoma.
the hood, but because desperate people make the best repeat customers.
Right,
And here's
right,
how they
right.
made money. When you sign up for a payday loan, you borrow against your next paycheck and you pay it back with a small fee on payday. Sounds fair and actually even useful in an emergency scenario, right? Well, except payday loan stores didn't grow by serving one and done emergencies. 3/4 of the revenue came from people who took out 10 or more loans per year. 40% of borrowers took a new loan the same day they paid back the last one, and 24% of them reborrowed within the same week.
Damn.
At annual percentage rates of 400%, you can see why this business model was actually set up to get desperate people in the door with a lifeline and then sell them on a subscription of debt. And that's
So where are they getting the 400% if you don't pay the fee?
how there was more stores than McDonald's at one point, and by the 2010s, the industry became too big to ignore.
Or your check is lower than what you borrowed for?
So the regulators finally stepped in, or
I bet niggas probably doing it like that. That's a bad boy. I wouldn't want to be that type of loan person though, cause you dealing with people who not good with money, man. This is just your whole business is based off of people who is not good with money, and it's not like you're helping them though. You know what I'm saying? You're just keeping them in the cycle, and it's actually driving them further down the cycle.
on a subscription.
It's crazy.
And that's how there was more stores than McDonald's at one point, and by the 2010s, the industry became
More
too
than
big
McDonald's.
to ignore.
It's
And so
crazy.
the regulators finally stepped in, or at least that was the idea. In 2010, and combined with the 2008 financial crash, the government created the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or CFPB, to protect Americans from financial exploitation. And in 2017, the CFPB unveiled new rules to target payday lending. Lenders had to now verify that borrowers could actually repay before issuing a loan, and they'd be limited in how many times it could hit a customer's bank account after a failed payment. But as you can imagine, the industry fought back.
How many times it can hit a bank account after a failed payment? What that supposed to mean?
Before issuing a loan, and they'd be limited in how many times it could hit a customer's bank account after a failed payment. But as you can imagine, the industry fought back. Lobbyists sued and Congress tried to push back. And by 2020, under a new administration, the CFPB revoked the key rule about verifying if borrowers could actually repay, and regulation was instead passed down to each individual state.
Wow.
And to their credit, some states
I mean, I guess it's understandable. It's not like it's a mortgage or something, 30 years and
actually stepped up. Over 20 states capped interest at 36% APR, and Illinois even banned payday lending in 2021 entirely.
That's
But here's the
crazy.
weird part. Despite regulation, in some states, the industry actually grew. States like Texas, without strict rate caps, became safe havens. And as payday lending shifted online, all lenders in neighboring states had to do was incorporate it
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I've never been like the type of like this ain't even something that would come across my mind, bro. I'm gonna just go figure out how to make another dollar, bro. You know what I'm saying though? Like if I don't got the money, if I need a little extra money, bro, I'm not gonna go take out no loan that I have to pay back with the money that I'm waiting on, bro. Like that's not good, bro. I'ma just go try to make some more money on the side, bro. Like,
as payday lending shifted online.
see, a lot of niggas think they supposed to work their job and their job is just supposed to provide everything, and nah, man, that's not the case, bro. For one, you signed up for that wage, you know what I'm saying? And for two, that's up to you to want better for yourself, want more for yourself. People think they're just supposed to work the job, and then that's end all be all. Oh, I can retire. Well, how? What is your plan for retirement if you're broke and you're paycheck to paycheck? People scare me, dog. I mean, I'm not worried about them. I'm only worried about me for real. But it's spooky with how people be moving out here, bro.
It's like Texas without strict rate caps.
Niggas is gonna grow old and be broke as fuck. Niggas might not even get to grow old because they don't have no money to take care of themselves.
Became safe havens. And as payday lending shifted online, all lenders in neighboring states had to do was incorporate in Texas and target borrowers in surrounding states with the same 400% high rates. But remember, This only works because the people who they're targeting aren't reading the fine print or comparison shopping because they need the cash fast.
Most people don't, when they go get a loan, they don't know nothing about an interest rate. They don't ask about nothing. It's like intimidating to ask that. And then it's like the loan people, they don't want you asking them type of questions, bro. They just want you to sign the paperwork and keep it pushing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't fuck with it, bro. Anytime I'm doing something like that, I'm asking every question. I'm not signing nothing. I'm reading everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? Cause you're not about to play. I don't have to sign nothing, bro. I don't have to do nothing. I could back out of this as long as I didn't sign nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, hey.
Fine print or comparison shopping because they need the cash fast. But nonetheless, by 2021, payday loan usage has dropped by half and thousands of stores closed, and it looked like regulation won. But here's the thing. People's desperation for cash didn't go away. If anything, like we talked about it got worse. So the industry didn't disappear, it just found new backers with deeper pockets. Because remember, Erden, Klarna, and Dave, they didn't just come from nowhere. They learned from the regulation, and as we're seeing now, they came back even more dangerous.
So they was around before this buy here, pay here era, huh?
And what's also dangerous is how today, it feels like every news outlet has a side. You scroll long enough and it's either outrage or opinion disguised as fact. And that's exactly why I've been using our sponsor.
Oh my goodness. These niggas with these ads,
even
man.
community choice used was to cut the. They don't try and scale them fast. Private equity, then second player has stepped in. Venture capital. Now was online, and that's where the second player profits.
Did I go too far?
Private equity firms have been circling the payday lending world for years, but over the last decade, their influence exploded. Even as physical payday loan stores kind of declined, by 2017, private equity firms owned more than 5,000 of these stores across the US. Firms like Diamond Castle and Golden Gate Capital bought up multiple lenders and rolled them into national empires like Community Choice Financial with nearly 500 locations. If you've been following the channel, it's the same strategy they use in healthcare and housing: buy it, consolidate it, and then extract it for profit. But as the popularity was declining, they soon realized that physical stores were just step one. And what they realized quickly was that the real money was online. And that's where the second player has stepped in: venture capital. Now, unlike private equity, venture capital firms have a slightly different playbook. They don't just buy like existing established businesses, they fund startups and try and scale them fast. So surprisingly, quick profit actually isn't their first priority. Instead, their strategy is more so to capture market share, get millions of users hooked, gather the data, and then make their service worse and more expensive to profit more later.
Yeah, that's every business strategy that comes about that's funded with billions of dollars from the jump. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All these brands and shit, they start off non-profit. Uber, DoorDash, all them shits was unprofitable. You know what I'm saying? They scale up. And then they figure out how to make it profitable.
The data and
it's companies out there right now. Snapchat, I believe, is still not profitable after all this long, and they're down bad because Snapchat dying. I mean, it's still popping, but it's you know, I don't use it as much, you know. But it's just their business is just for ads in the internet. To make money on the internet, you gotta sell ads, you know, or a product, and that's just Snapchat ads is like the money you're getting off that is not much, bro.
Try and scale them fast. So surprisingly, quick profit actually isn't their first priority. Instead, their strategy is more so to capture market share, get millions of users hooked, gather the data, and then make their service worse and more expensive to profit more later. Sounds pretty familiar, right?
Facebook,
lately,
Amazon.
VCs have started pouring billions into companies offering short-term credit, specifically buy now, pay later. You know
I think Klarna just went public too. They had an IPO. I've been kind of here and there. I've been tuning into it.
Pitch. Enjoy this burger now so you can split this
Affirm is public.
payment into 4 easy interest-free installments
I think Affirm been going crazy.
that you can pay later. And that's not even a joke, by the way. Some people are literally using it for that purpose. But anyways,
That's
VC
tragic,
investor
bro.
strategy with companies like Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, and Sezzle has paid off, where by 2022, 1 in 5 US adults have now used buy now, pay later. But here's the thing, they weren't just attracting low-income users anymore. Through their strategy, what started as like a low-income lifeline soon spread to Gen Z and millennials, so younger demographics, and even middle and high-income users, where 1/3 of their users earn six figures. So just in a few years, short-term debt has become normalized across.
Hey man, if you could get some free interest at 6 weeks, I'll be fucking with a firm. 6 weeks, no interest, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I got the money sitting in a savings account. I'll just make the little payments. You know what I'm saying? I'm making interest off of, you know, in a sense. You know? And especially if you got thousands of dollars and you can get thousands of dollars and you have a big expense, or you can get $1,000 on a firm or whatever, and you have a big expense, you know what I'm saying? And they let you do 6 weeks interest free. I don't see a problem with that. If you're good with your money though, you have to be good with your money though, bro. Yeah, you gotta be disciplined, bro. You know, that's a progressive type of mindset. You know, that's a progressive type of mindset, and that's how the rich get rich. And you know,
even middle and high income users, where 1/3 of their users earn six figures. So just in a few years, short-term debt has become normalized across income levels, but that's just the beginning. Because the real expansion happened when VCs figured out how to integrate this model.
But you know what's crazy though? A firm, all that shit, it does pop up on your credit. You can go check your Credit Karma. You could check that shit. It's gonna be on there, bro. It says it, oh, no credit check, this, that, and the third. Don't pay that shit, and it's gonna hit your credit, bro, for sure.
Short-term debt has become normalized across income levels, but that's just the beginning. Because the real expansion happened when VCs figured out how to integrate this model directly into your paycheck.
Did you go to work today? Probably. Did you get paid for the work you did today? Probably not. You won't see that money till Friday, right?
Picture this, it's mid-month, you're broke, but you're
so you could go on there and say, oh, I made this much today. I bet, and I bet like the more you use the app, and the more like they see how much you're making, like the more they'll allow you to borrow, like over time. Like I'm sure whenever you first sign up, it might not be as high, you know what I'm saying, on a daily of what you can probably get, but let you use it for a good 6 months, you're gonna be able to start getting more than what you actually earn, and that's a problem.
Today. Probably not. You won't see that money till Friday, right?
Picture this, it's mid-month, you're broke, but you already worked 2 full weeks and you want your limited edition purple Labubu or
no.
Bet on the big game.
Or bet on the game. That's insane.
So why wait for payday? It's my money and
I need it now. You're right.
Well, that's exactly the pitch behind earned wage access. Major employers like Walmart and fast food chains have now partnered with these services to let workers access their wages early.
Wow.
For a small fee, of course.
Wow, that's crazy.
But remember, with the help of these VC funds, they've also learned from the mistakes.
Bro, in this world, you cannot sit here and be mad at these people and these companies for doing this shit, bro. That's just the game. It's because they understand the game and they're smart enough to capitalize off of it, bro. Be smart. Make smart decisions, calculated decisions. Why don't get a payday loan? You don't have to do this shit now. You know what I'm saying? They can do what they do. You don't have to be a victim of it. You know what I'm saying?
Of the past. Because the real genius here is that they didn't pitch these earned wage access.
Nobody that signed up for this shit is a victim. Unless the company intentionally like done something, like, you know, but
learn from the mistakes of the past. Because the real genius here is that they didn't pitch these earned wage access services to companies and their employees as a loan, but instead called it an employee benefit. Wow. And as I'll get into later, it also became a benefit for earned wage access companies too. But nonetheless,
you're damn right.
Because by 2022, the average user accessed wages early 27 times a year and half used it monthly. And just like that, with the snap of a finger, payday lending has gone mainstream again. And once banks and payroll processors and other businesses started investing in buy now, pay later,
take a small fee, it's just certain shit on the clock I'm not doing. I'm not clocking out for lunch. I'm not paying a fee to get my money early when I done sat here and slaved for it. Like, y'all not about to just keep taking more money from me, bro. I'm not about to put money in this 401k. You know what I'm saying? A 401k can be good, but it could also be a trap though. Cause like at my job, I have to wait 3 years. I'm 1 year in now. There's no telling. I already done. I'm hanging by a thread. You know what I'm saying? So, fuck, what was I saying? Oh boy.
Banks and payroll processors and other businesses started investing in buy now, pay later and earned wage access. They both became so embedded in the system that regulating it became nearly impossible. So with billions in funding from private equity and venture capital, this modern form of payday lending didn't just scale their profit.
Yeah, I don't want nothing extra being taken out of my paycheck. What I was saying was I'd have to wait 3 years to get the match. You know what I'm saying? To get the 401k match. It's good if you can get that and you can max. See, you should be trying to max it out though. Like, it's only really good if like, cause you really want control over it, bro. My stock portfolios is outpacing my, as far as percentage return. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that match will help it grow way faster. But I don't want to put all this money locked up in it and then I can't see none of it until I'm fucking 60 years old and I might need that shit. I might want to invest it in real estate. I just don't got the time to play with that shit, bro. It could be a trap. You lose all your match. You think you finna get the match. You done invested $50,000 over 3 years. And now you got 100K in that bitch, but now you can't get the 100K because you got fired on your last day before it was 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And now they taking your match. You know what I'm saying? Or even then, you'd have to wait till you was old as hell if you even made it that far. You know, 401k could be a good thing. I'm not Roth IRAs, all that. You know, tax-free, tax benefits, but sometimes, man, you need control, you know, especially when you're not making hundreds of thousands, bro.
That regulating it became nearly impossible. So with billions in funding from private equity and venture capital, this modern form of payday lending didn't just scale their profits, but it scaled beyond regulation. And in the process made the cat and mouse game so irrelevant where by the time regulators figured it out, they've already moved on to the next loophole. And now they're not just exploiting ways to avoid regulation, but figuring out how to change how we fundamentally view debt. Because now that they have users hooked, they need to figure out how to make money. And what they realize is that when you can convince an entire generation that being broke and borrowing is financial freedom, you found an infinite money glitch.
Bro, you know how like guaranteed of a return, like, bro, that secures, bro, they have a lot more security by partnering with companies like Walmart and having their employees use they got security because they know Walmart gonna be able to cut that check. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
And how they did it was starting with convenience. Because obviously, why go to a sketchy storefront when you can get a loan as easy as ordering DoorDash while taking a shit? But once they nailed down the convenience, they knew that wasn't enough. They had to change how it was sold. Because think about it. You feel insane taking out a loan for junk food and video games, right? But what if it wasn't a loan, it was taking control of your money? And what if buying Chipotle in 4 installments wasn't desperation, it was optimizing cash flow? See, suddenly the decision doesn't feel so crazy. And that's exactly why
when it comes to small shit like that, bro, it's not worth it. It's not even worth going through all that trouble, bro.
why they replaced
You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. It'd be worth it if you was absolutely 100% disciplined, bro. And was able to keep track perfectly of every expense. It's just not worth it though, bro. You need to be, when you talk about a Chipotle meal, a Chick-fil-A meal, you know what I'm saying? $20, $10, $15, $20. Bro, quit playing with that shit, man. Quit playing with that shit, man.
words like loan
You know, the only little money you need to play with like that is whenever you first start investing. If you ain't got a single dollar into the market, start averaging $1 into the week. every week. You know what I'm saying? And then raise it. Then you can play with little money like that. If that's what you want to play with, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I wouldn't play with that with Klarna and Afterpay and with all that shit for no Chipotle sandwich trying to optimize cash flow and this, that. Nah, bro. You need to play with a little bit more money than that if you're gonna do that. It's not worth it because that shit is on your credit, bro. And all it takes is one missed payment. Oh, you didn't know because you didn't have it on auto or whatever. That's all it takes, bro. Then else on your credit. It's a missed payment. And these is more frequent of payments. You talk about every 2 weeks. That's not just a once a month payment. That's a twice a month payment. You know? So that's like double the risk per month.
Loans, interest, and credit damage with empowerment, freedom, and control.
Cost of living has skyrocketed across the country.
2/3 of Americans live paycheck to paycheck.
Paycheck to paycheck.
Paycheck to paycheck.
Because once you can do that, people stop seeing the trap. And when enough people believe it, that's when culture shifts. Unlike boomers who avoided debt, Gen Z and millennials see debt management now as a normal thing and even as a skill. And with national debt at record heights, I think it's fair to say that as a country, we've normalized it too. Because what may shock you though is that more and more buy now, pay later users aren't just using it to buy brand new sneakers. They're actually stacking loans across multiple apps just to pay for groceries and healthcare. Because for older generations and when the economy is good, calling debt as empowerment would sound crazy. But in a reality now where 2/3 of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, buy now, pay later positioning themselves as financial empowerment actually has made sense to people. So what's important to remember here is that the messaging doesn't just work because most people are financially stupid, but for some, it's because they have no choice in a system where being broke has been turned into a profit center. And so now when the culture demands it and the economy requires it, these companies have built themselves a shield where they become—
Bro, people gotta stop living so comfortably so early though, bro. I'm poor as fuck. I got a little money put up, but I'm poor as fuck, bro. I'm far, bro. One of the reasons why my last relationship was never gonna work out, bro, is because of how I view money right now, bro. I'm poor as shit. We gotta save and invest everything till we own a house. You know what I'm saying? And then we can move out that house and rent it out. And it bring us money and we rinse and repeat. And we got money in the stock market. You know what I'm saying? I can't live comfortably until then. You know what I'm saying? I can't live comfortably until then, bro. Because the job is not the— I don't want to work forever. I don't want to work a job forever. So while I am, I'm going to stack and invest what I can so I don't have to do it later. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people look up, now they 40 years old and they're still stuck in the same system and they wonder how. Now you're taking out payday loans. Oh, the price of living is so high. This, that, and the third. Yeah, it's high, but it ain't unmanageable at the same time. I work at Amazon, nigga. Do YouTube. You gotta put the work in, nigga, and save and invest. I'm not saying I'm set for life. I'm poor. I got an emergency fund though. I got something started though. Trying to grow it. Shit, I know what it's like to be poor, my nigga. Check the check, nigga. I was doing that shit, bro, and it wasn't comfortable. I remember looking in my bank account, bro. Bills that took my money, my shit on negative, nigga. I had to wake up, go do an Instacart just to get my shit back on positive, nigga. My shit was like that. Paying rent, living with a woman, my shit was like that. I was with the wrong woman. She didn't want to invest with me. She didn't want to do that. That's what we was supposed to do. That's what I signed up for. That's what you told me you signed up for. That ain't where it turned out to be though. And so that put me in a fucked up spot. This year I bounced back. You know? Bounce back.
Demands it and the economy requires it, these companies have built themselves a shield where they become immune to regulation. Because now it's not just the industry that's fighting back, it's the users that's defending it. In 2024, the CFPB announced that buy now, pay later services would be and should be treated like credit cards with real disclosures and actual rules. But even with those threats, buy now, pay later just kept expanding.
And the firm gives you a virtual card, bro. No cap. No, they give you a physical card. You know what I'm saying? I know, cause I got that hoe. You know what I'm saying? If I gotta spend $1,000 on my car, shoot, I'm swiping. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay that back interest free. And it'll be coming out my savings account. Simple.
Online, in store, travel, healthcare, because people were using it. And when regulators turned their attention to earned wage access, the industry was already 2 steps ahead. In 2023, the CFPB alleged that earned wage access programs that charge fees should also be treated as credit, but earned wage access quickly found a loophole with tips. These apps now claim that they're free,
that's crazy,
but with an optional tip. Except if you don't tip, you might not get instant access, or the app might limit how much you can borrow next time.
You gotta tip before you can even, or after, or they don't let you get as much money.
This is a $5 instant fee or a suggested $3 tip here is all voluntary. They argue that it's not interest and just a tip.
That's wild.
Even in late 2024,
I mean, you know, $1, if that's a 0.2% interest rate, that's not bad. That's pretty good.
When the Attorney General sued EarnIn, alleging that its earned wage access service was violating usury laws, EarnIn had the perfect response. They argue that they're not predatory lenders, but they're responsible innovators offering a lifeline to customers who have no choice. And they argue that earned wage access empowers individuals to make financial decisions for their unique situations. And when now more than 20 million Americans
bad financial
use these apps regularly, it's kind of hard to argue.
Dave, was that app I downloaded? I downloaded some app. I don't know. It wasn't no payday app like this. I downloaded some app that was supposed to track your expenses and this, that, and the third, bro. And they start, whenever I signed up, I didn't sign up to pay for anything. Man, they started taking money out of my account, like $3, $5. I don't know how much that shit was. I got mad as fuck. I got on support. I cussed their ass out. I said, take me off this shit and delete my fucking account. I did not sign up to give y'all money. What the fuck? I forgot what app that was, bro. It was some money tracking app, bro.
Empowers individuals to make financial decisions.
That shit start taking money. I was mad as fuck.
For their unique situations. And when now more than 20 million Americans use these apps.
I'm like, hey, yo, why the hell is this? I got NerdWallet. NerdWallet don't take $1. I signed up for NerdWallet. It ain't took $1. Meanwhile, I don't know if it's Dave. It was something with a name like a simple name like that. And that shit started taking money out of my account, bro.
Regularly, it's kind of hard to argue that. So the case is still ongoing, but the pattern is clear. When you shift culture and position yourself as the only lifeline for people with no choice, you don't even need to fight regulators anymore. Your users will do it for you. So it's not even a cat and mouse game anymore.
And ever since then, bro, I don't just be downloading apps no more and be trying to put my shit, you know what I'm saying? Nope. No.
Your users will do it for you. So it's not even a cat and mouse game anymore. It's a game where the mouse convinces the cheese to defend the trap. So where does this all lead? Because as more people become dependent on these apps, we're not just normalizing debt, we're building an economy that requires it.
So I'm broke, but I'm not broke.
Back in the day, going into a payday loan store meant poverty, desperation, and frankly, shame. And today, these same practices are marketed as empowerment.
Yeah, today, these same people are anonymous now. Like, you don't have to see them walk into them stores. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to see them actually walk into a payday place. You know what I'm saying? Nah, everything is hidden behind the phone now, so you will never know.
Self-expression and financial.
And I'll tell you, bro, this is how a lot of people is acting like they got it, bro. You know, ain't nothing wrong with it if you can manage it and you're smart. You shouldn't be using Afterpay and all that to be buying things you can't afford to finance it. Like, no.
Freedom. And just like how we've seen the last few years and how quickly the cultural zeitgeist can shift, we've gone from hiding debt to celebrating it. So there's a good chance that as you're watching this video, you might be thinking, this doesn't apply to me, it's only for the financially stupid. But here's the reality, because as the economy worsens, as AI takes your job, as housing becomes unaffordable, more and more people will
Stop.
have no choice. And not to mention when defaults start mounting like student loans, car loans, mortgages, and now paycheck advances. Just like I talk about in a lot of my videos, it won't just hurt the people borrowing, it will crash the system for everyone. Maybe that's part of the design, because when your life is a never-ending emergency, you're easier to control. And nothing is easier to exploit than the good little consumer that buys now, thinks later. But the good news is, if you watched until the end, I would never want that to happen to you. So if you want to join the thousands who are learning how money and power works, just
Hey man, y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man. We on the road to 100K, okay? If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself. Cause that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. God damn. Every time I do my outro, bro, I could talk the entire video. But as soon as I do my outro, maybe I'm saying it too fast, bro. Anyways, I'll get at y'all in the next one. I'm gone. T-Bop, hit it.